What specific circumstances tend to facilitate an entry into the flow state? I don't think there's specific circumstances per se, because it's basically a mindset. You kind of think about those. You think about those movies like guys riding BMX bikes or doing skateboard tricks, like how they prep beforehand and how when they start executing the trick, everything kind of slows down and processes. That all goes back to how much you've trained, how much dry rep you've done, how much mental preparation. When we watched that Blue Angels documentary, like even kind of hearing what those guys talk about their flow state, how that point where you think everything is slowing down to a point where you start processing so much speed and all, like there's not really circumstances that I can think of directly, but it's just how you enter whatever you're about to do mentally. Like, how am I enter the house? Like, what's my mental state? Same thing, I'm pretty sure, with guys that do BMX tricks and skateboarding and the Blue Angel flying. Like, what's my mental state when I get in that cockpit and I crank that engine on, my comms go on, and I send it going off the runway? Like, how am I mentally prepared before that starts?
For me, one of the specific circumstances is have I blocked out all the static. In order for me to hit the flow state, there can be no stray voltage. So a lot of it, you'll see guys sit in silence. You watch guys in the Blue Angels, everybody closes their eyes, they get in the zone. Skydivers do the same thing. MMA guys do the same thing. If you see them go back there after they warm up, they stop, they sit down, they close their eyes, and they start to paint the picture for everything that's going to happen. I'm going to walk out in the tunnel. This is my walk-on song. This is who's left of me. This is who's right of me, whose hands are on the shoulders. When I get there, I'm taking my shirt off. He's going to inspect my hands, going to check my mouthpiece, check my cup, like the whole thing. So by the time you walk in, it's like I have preset conditions to where everything is on my timeline. I get in the cage, I'm going to run around it in a counterclockwise manner. I'm going to stop. One clockwise rotation, I'm going to stop in front of my corner. I'm going to jump up and down, get the blood flowing. I'm going to psych myself up. I'm not looking across the corner. I hear his walkout song. I completely block it out. The only thing I'm thinking about is me right now. And you see a lot of them, they just start staring around. They're not watching him walk in. They've already set conditions like, this is my home, this is my octagon, I own this whole thing. So a lot of times you see them, they never look at each other until right when they have to square off. Then they come down, they're all staring at the floor, staring at the floor, staring at the floor, touch gloves you want to. A lot of them don't look up. And a lot of dudes would be like, he's intimidated, he's not making eye contact. A lot of times they won't, right? Because it doesn't matter. And if you hear them talk, a lot of them, they don't give a shit who's across them. It doesn't matter. I've blocked you out, you're just A. You're A thing, I'm about to crush, that's it. I don't care what you do. I've planned for this whole thing. I've studied nothing but game film on you. I have a plan for you, and I'm going to go execute that plan. Sometimes you see Mike Tyson just burning a hole through this dude right now, trying to lead by intimidation. The other guy's looking down. He looks up at Tyson. He's like, oh, shit. Eyes right back down. I do the same thing. Like when I'm doing a speaking engagement, I get on stage ahead of time, and I just pace around it. I sit on all the chairs, I move the chairs, I sit down, I sit on the front of the stage, I kick my feet up, like, I do everything but piss in the corner of it. And Vernon asked me when I was out there, he's like, what are you doing? I was like, about to piss in the corner of the stage just so I own it. So when I stand on top of this thing, it feels like it's mine. Like I'm in there before anybody else, the chair's already set, I'm looking around, I'm just wondering who's gonna sit where. And then when I walk back on, it's like, well, now you're all in my house. This is my stage, this is my auditorium, those are all my fucking chairs, I'm just letting you sit in it. But you really have to be able to block out everything and just focus on the task at hand. But it's hard, man. And without practice, that's why we talk about 20-minute walks. There's 20 minutes for you to practice blocking out all the excess noise. The traveling back home, changing the radio station. Like I'm setting conditions into where none of the stray voltage is able to penetrate me from here to there. Even from meeting to meeting. Like at 1 o'clock, I've got this bullshit meeting. At 1:30, I've got to turn the page and go into this meeting. Okay, well, at 1:45, my second meeting starts. Who do I need to be at 1:45? Not the same guy I was at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to take the 15 minutes between 1:30 and 1:45, and I'm going to set conditions to be whoever I need to be at 1:45, not just dragging the person I was from 1 to 1:30. Preset conditions, and that way it'll let you get in the flow state. And, I mean, I felt it a shit ton. Skydiving, CQB, all of it. Snowboarding. Really like picking up speed, bombing down a hill at full blast, and it's like you stop thinking about catching an edge and you just feel it. Everything goes super quiet. You're not listening to music, and you can just feel the edges push. You can feel the speed build. You don't feel the speed wobbles. You're not worried about falling. Everything else just kind of, it drifts off into space. To me, that's flow state. It's hard to do when you're dodging little kids and all this stimulus is coming. You gotta block it all out and stay inside your little force field. It works for me.
Yeah. When you and your team would achieve the synchronization flow, where everyone performs unified as one as high level, what factors supported that connection in your team to enable that level of group performance? Time around the team, training, conversations. We would have so many conversations beginning of the day through PT together, to sitting in the hooch together, to eating chow together. Like, I mean, we did everything together. It wasn't like your typical normal, like, oh, it's lunchtime, I'm gonna go get something by myself. It's always like, hey, it's lunchtime, let's roll. And we'd roll, we'd do it if I could pay loans, or we'd go somewhere else. And all those conversations about anything is what synchronized us. So when you get on target for those ops overseas and deployments, there was no conversations that needed to be had, because all those conversations be had prior to, whether it be verbally, visually, mechanically. So time together, training together, everything was synchronized beforehand. It's like that whole thing, all right, let's everybody set watches, and everybody set watches in that time, and from that moment moving forward, it was everybody's on the same tick. And that starts, that starts months, years prior to. So thinking about going through selection and getting to the second deck, it was that's when my sync started with everybody else. Everybody else had their own synchronization and their own flow. So to achieve that synchronous flow, the factors that supported that is everything that we did prior to that. It wasn't like, all right, everybody, we're meeting here at this time, you guys do your own thing, and we meet here at this time, we're going to execute this target. No, that preparation for that deployment, that mission, that op started years ago, right when you walked into the team room, after selection, after buds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to spend time around the group. Everybody needs to be syncing up on the exact same energy wave field. I know that sounds a little hokey, a little fucking left, whatever. It's the truth. Like, energy circles the entire time. Like, paint me a picture in a group setting. Okay, everybody's been here before. We've all been doing this. I want to take us all back. We're going to time travel to Iraq 2009. If you guys have all done this target together, or if it's something where it's such a similar experience that everybody else knows, because this is pretty much a cookie cutter of that. And now everybody's on the same path. Like, okay, we all remember helicopter infill, blah, blah, blah. This target, this how many guys are on it. We all know 3-story building. You start to lay out the picture. Now everybody's jiving on the exact same thing. Here's the patrol order. Here's the scheme maneuver. This is the way it's all going to work. And by the time you start dirt diving it, you'll watch everybody goes from this to this. And as you talk, like, they're thinking about it. They're thinking about the texture of the tile floor, the rock in their shoe, the sand, how it slides and skids and you lose traction. They're thinking about metal on their sling. They're thinking about everything. Extending ladders, the climb, going up and over, all of it. And by the time you set up, like, ready, go. Everybody's on the exact same page and you crush. The same speed, the same movement. You got to get them all bought on the exact same page. Let's talk about Ryan on his number 6, about the flow state stuff. My overall goal is to learn and study this more, to develop a routine and strategy to optimize conditions and flow and performance on demand. Then I want to share this with my team to get everyone involved. But it's difficult to get people who don't understand and won't take time to listen. How do I go about leading them properly? I heard a quote from SEAC last week. It's about that. We were talking about culture and experiences that other people can't share. So I'm just going to read it to you. Chew on this one here for a minute. So, how do I get people to listen when they don't understand and they don't take time to listen? Take culture, take whatever into this. If you understand, no explanation is necessary. If you don't understand, no explanation is possible. That's from Dave Joyce, SEAC Kali. I'll say it again. If you don't understand, or if you understand, no explanation is necessary. If you don't understand, no explanation is possible. So you talk about high-level performers, you talk about culture, you talk about the importance of group over the individual, and they're just not picking it up. I know you're not. And like, well, I don't get it. I know you don't get it. You don't get it because you haven't lived it. And there's nothing I'm going to do. There's nothing I'm going to say. There's no PowerPoint I'm going to throw up to make you a true believer. You have to experience it firsthand to actually know what we're talking about. And I thought Dave Joyce said that beautifully well.
Yeah.
I had Wolf and the guy sent it to me.
Yeah, no,
It's an amazing quote.
that is an amazing quote, because it's one of those things that even if you haven't experienced it, to even think about experiencing it puts you invested in it. Because I remember the first time in the teams, I never experienced, this type of stuff, but I was invested mentally and willing to invest physically with time, bandwidth, training. So that's the thing. That's a beautiful quote, because it's like leading them. The old adage, Chinese proverb: you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. That horse is going to drink that water if he's thirsty. So same thing with any of these other aspects. If that individual is thirsty to be part of the team, to perform at a high level for the team, they won't need leading to that point. They're going to be there ready to train with them. So continue doing what you're doing, leading by example. The biggest thing that kind of stood out to me about the question was you wanting to optimize it individual, then share it with the group. That's tough, because a lot of, especially the stuff you want to share with the group, it should be group involved from day one. But yeah, if people just don't seem to get it or understand, they're not fully invested in it, and they never will be. They'll never understand because they have no desire to.
The same guys that argue that skill set's more important than mindset, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Smash your head against the wall trying to get them to understand. If they're not going to get in the boat and row, just kick them out of the fucking boat, dude.
Yeah.
That's not worth it. Don't let their lack of buy-in deter you from trying to grab more people and put them inside your boat. Some people just aren't going to change. They're just not. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how truthful it is, digestible it is, they don't want to hear it. Sometimes you can't make them.